Man, I have been waiting to do a live stream like this for a while because every day I get to talk about editing videos here on the channel. But one of the things that we don't get to talk about enough that I love talking about is what kind of videos you should be making and what videos would actually work if you make the videos and put them onto YouTube. And with the advent of things like AI that's come around that you've probably heard, right? Everybody, ChatGPT. It makes it supposedly easier to do these things that we need to do, but I have yet to find an easy way to use AI when we're creators. Like, just tell me what kind of videos I should make or how I should think about making a title or what kind of topic or how can I make a video? I've watched this channel. They make great videos. Can I use some of their ideas but incorporate it into my conversation? Well, the long story short is I said, man, I wish someone would build some tools that would do that and help creators. And I realized, wait a minute, I know people who can build these tools. And we started working together with some of these people to see if we could build simple and easy, usable, actionable tools that would allow all of you to make your process easier and come up with content and ideas and titles and video topics that would actually connect with your target audience. So listen, there is a person I've known for a lot of years who was the original founder of TubeBuddy, and I worked with TubeBuddy for a lot of years. And he's kind of a guy who's been quiet and behind the scenes. He does not like the spotlight, but I twisted his arm. And I said, Phil, come on to the channel. Let's talk about this new tool that you've built, Creative Fuel, and let's walk people through it and show them what it does. Because I think it'll actually help creators do the thing they're trying to do with a lot less hassle. So I'd like to welcome here to the channel my pal, Phil Starkovich. Phil, thank you for coming on and talking with us today.
All right. Thank you, Daniel. You twisted my arm not too hard. It's still here. It didn't fall off.
Well, that's good.
You did get me here, and I appreciate you having me on and kind of talking through things.
Yeah. Now, listen, I'm going to let everybody know that, I've been working with you to help develop this tool, right? I'm one of the people that has helped build this tool. And it's been something that we've spent a lot of time on, and I'm not going to pretend like I'm a software developer. I'm not. That's what you do. I'm the guy who gets in there. You know what I do. I see if I can break it. And I see how we can make it better. Jill was like, when I worked with TubeBuddy, they used to call me the crash test dummy because I would take the tool and I would just run it 100 miles an hour and see if I could get it to freak out or break or not do something right. And that was really what I spent a lot of my time with TubeBuddy doing. And a lot of people, I think, in the chat may remember the tool TubeBuddy. Things have changed over the years. You actually sold TubeBuddy to the great Bill Gates years ago. So I got to ask you, Phil, like, what the hell are you doing here? I know you're not some crazy, nutcase who wants to make all the money in the world and buy fancy vintage American sports cars and muscle cars and talk about them all the time and buy guitar. Well, that's me. I'm sorry. I'm talking about me. You're the guy who should be sitting on an island somewhere with your family and living the life you lead. What makes you want to continue to develop software for creators?
Yeah, that's a good question. I feel like I do get that question a lot. After an acquisition, are you spending time on the beach, sitting around doing nothing? And my passion is always developing products. I've been doing it since I was in freshman in high school, sold my first video game online. It's what I do. It's how I like to spend my free time. People are like, oh, why do you work so much? And it definitely doesn't feel like work. This is how I have fun, building out products, software, and kind of in the creator space, with on the TubeBuddy side, just a quick backstory. It started as a very small product, small team. Over time, grew, and I found myself spending a lot of time managing people, doing things outside of programming, and that's really not where my passion is. And so that's a big reason why I was willing to sell the company, is to kind of go back to my roots, what I enjoy, and just start a little passion project, work on software. I did a few things outside the creator space, but people like you, Daniel, a lot of friends, I kind of realized I built all these great relationships over the year. you know, it's something I miss. The people I miss. I went to Vid Summit recently again, and love catching up with everybody. So it's just the whole community. I can't think of a better place to build products than in the creator space. Just working with all the different variety of people and kind of everything. You know, like you mentioned, I don't like being in the spotlight. I don't like being on camera doing videos. So I just
and yet here you are.
And here I am. At some point, you got to do it a little bit.
Got to get in there. Yeah, it's, you know, one of the things I always have loved about being your friend is you tolerate a lot of loudmouths like me. Like, we're out there shouting and screaming and, you know, talking about, you know, channel growth strategies. And you've always sort of quietly been in the background, listening and paying attention and trying to build tools that can actually help people like me and the people that I try to help achieve the kind of goals that they want to achieve, find success on YouTube. And I always felt that you were one of the few guys that really did it from the heart. There was such a sense of community and family built around TubeBuddy when you had that, when that was your tool before it had been, you know, sold out. And I think things have changed over time. And I love seeing you back in the space. I know there was probably a period of time where you probably had some non-competes and couldn't make some stuff that you probably wanted to make. But here we are nowadays, a few years later, and you've got this new tool called Creative Fuel that I'm really excited about. I mean, I think it's, for me, now tell me if I am encapsulating this correctly.
Okay.
I always said that, like, I love the idea. When ChatGPT came out, it was like really cool. It's a super, you know, large language, you know, learning knowledge base, and it'll do all these great things. And then you'd go to, like, you know, I have the pro account. I pay to make sure I have ChatGPT 4.0 or whatever it's at now. And you go there and it's like a blank screen. It reminds me of the old DOS systems back in the day. Like, you now, it's just waiting for you to tell it what to do. Yep. And as smart as it is, it's not necessarily intuitive. It only responds to what you ask it to do. So now you have to learn how to get good at asking it what you need, because you can spend an entire day putting in what they call prompts, asking it to do stuff. And then it gives you stuff that may be off center or not what you need. And as a creator, time is money. Like, we need to move quickly. Yeah. And I really am excited about the fact that I think you've been able to bridge that gap and say, forget ChatGPT, forget AI. Wouldn't it be great if you were just operating in your normal environment and there'd be like a little button you could click and go, hey, that's a good idea. Let me jump off from there. That's a great starting point. And that is that anywhere close to what you envisioned Creative Fuel being?
Very close. And if you looked at Creative Fuel a year ago, it actually started being built into ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Essentially because, you know, people would put out these prompts, you know, long paragraphs to help come up with video ideas or things like that. And it would say, insert your niche here, insert your target audience. And, you know, as a programmer, someone who likes to automate things, I was thinking, why should somebody have to enter that every time? There should be an app where you just enter your audience, your niche one time, and then it auto-populates these prompts. And so we essentially built that whole product out into ChatGPT. But then we found people still don't want to go to ChatGPT. And a lot of success with TubeBuddy was being built right into YouTube as a browser extension. So we took a lot of what we had built into ChatGPT and just brought it over to YouTube and automated it. So yeah, you're definitely on the right track there.
So let me start here. This is the creativefuel.ai website. Now, for anybody interested in checking out Creative Fuel, I have a comment that's pinned at the top of the chat. And I also have this linked in the description. I'll put it in the pinned comment after we're done here, and you can go check it out. I think that it's one of those ideas that can really make a creator's job simpler. It can take a lot of that frustration out, because I use ChatGPT all the time to take like rough ideas that I have and help hone them into more usable ideas. But it took me months of using ChatGPT to learn how to get the results I wanted out of it. And here it is, you've got it. You can go right to the creativefuel.ai website. You can install this Chrome browser. Is it available only on Chrome, or talk to me about what browsers people might be using and what it's applied to?
Sure. Yeah. To start out, it's just Chrome. We do plan on making it available for Firefox, Safari potentially, but just in an effort to get the product out faster, get it into people's hands. We're trying to keep the team small and lean, move quick, and if we're dealing with a bunch of different browser extensions, there's a whole different process for each. And so for right now, it is just Chrome.
Yeah, and I think the simplicity of the website kind of says it all. It actually allows you to generate ideas for content, which we're going to show you. And when you see how it generates some of the content ideas, it's phenomenal. And then what we call workshopping the ideas. Like once you get the idea and you think you have something you want to work with, or multiple ideas, you can then kind of focus on them and build them out more towards the video that you want to make. Because it even gets into some prompting of like what kind of thumbnail ideas you might want to pay attention to, what people are using on the platform, an idea of how to sort of balance out a general idea of like a bullet point script of what you might want to think about mentioning during that video if this is where you're going to go. It's got some pretty cool things, and let me show you right in action. I have it installed on my Chrome browser, right? So when I'm here, it just looks like YouTube. But you start noticing, and I can use one of my other friend's tools, TubeSpanner. You start noticing there's this little flame by everyone's video. This is so cool. So you're just doing your natural course of, maybe browsing around YouTube, and there's this flame, this Creative Fuel flame by every video. And what's really cool is if you see something, that's a great video, by the way. I'm not a rock star. Everyone should watch that. I'm glad that YouTube recommended it to me, the one guy who shouldn't be watching it. But if you start scrolling through YouTube, now, granted, my feed is crazy because I work with so many channels. It throws all kinds of nutty stuff at me. But if you see something that seems like a great idea, like that's an awesome idea that I would like to take that idea and maybe use it for something that I'm thinking about. If you find something, like here's one, Mr. Beast, I don't know, that's a 10-minute one. Let me see if I can find something like, this is 146,000 views, and it's Master Your DJI Osmo Mobile SE 8 cinematic shots. Now I have those tools, but this one right here, I probably wouldn't talk about like a gimbal. But what I can do is click on that Creative Fuel idea, and I can start by saying, reimagine this video, but what if it was talking about my conversation? And what it starts doing off to the side is, let me see, I got to make sure I click that right, not turn off 9 other things. I can have it start reimagining that, and it does a pop-out right inside of Chrome, and it's now thinking, it's now looking through what it knows about my channel, my audience, and it says, well, how would that, if you had that idea and brought it to your audience, how could you apply that? And you can see right off the bat, it starts giving me ideas like, hey, boost your color grading skills, 10 pro techniques. That's DaVinci Resolve stuff that I talk about. Unlock DaVinci Resolve 18 secrets, 7 powerful techniques. Create stunning graphics in DaVinci Resolve, 9 simple steps. Master your YouTube channel, because I also do growth, 5 growth hacks. And it starts giving me ideas. And I love that it gives me a little score by each to give me an idea of like, well, these are the ones that we think are maybe closer to the mark of what we know about your channel and farther away from what might be the mark for your channel. And tell me, Phil, like, how is it when I install this plugin, how is it coming up with this stuff? How is it getting to this point?
Yeah, good question. And as far as how does it know about your channel? So the first time you install Creative Fuel and log in, it builds essentially a profile for your channel. And so, it walks you through the process where it says, here's what we think your value prop is. You can modify it if you want. It says, here's the different topics we see you posting about. You choose the ones that you agree with. You can add more topics, remove topics. So it knows what topics you're posting about. It also looks at your audience. So it gives you detailed information about your audience. And you can, again, just accept it or you can update it. So it uses this whole profile when it's coming up with ideas. And just one quick note. when you run it off YouTube here in the browser extension, it kind of gives you a variety of all of the topics. You might have, say, 10 topics in the future. And I just want to kind of bring this up as we're talking through here. I'm taking notes on things to improve. Anybody in the comments, like, this is what we want. I consider myself kind of like a programming monkey. Like, you guys just tell me how you want it to work better. I'll build it. So in this particular case, it did some DaVinci Resolve. It did some, YouTube growth. There are ways to say, take this particular video and make it all YouTube growth ideas or all DaVinci Resolve. And you can do that in other areas. In the future, I want to add it to this area. So I'm making a note as a reminder to myself to add that in.
Well, one of the things that I love that like all of that prompting that I would have to stop and try to tell ChatGPT, hi, I am a YouTube content creator who has a channel that teaches people how to edit videos, put them onto YouTube and grow a YouTube channel. I would like to take a video that is titled this and somehow apply it. And I would be giving prompt after prompt after prompt. And this is just like, no, it's just going to be there. Just do your normal YouTube experience. And if you see something you like, you don't have to take action right now. I can literally go, oh, this is kind of cool. If I see something that's a great idea, like create stunning graphics in DaVinci Resolve 19, I can even edit that idea. Like maybe I think, oh, it should have had one other word that I saw in one of the other ones. And I can edit what that idea was right here by clicking the pencil. But once I like it, I just click heart and it saves it for later. Like I can continue on my day. If I'm actually a viewer and I'm a consumer on YouTube and I'm seeing stuff and I'm watching it on desktop and I've got the extension, I go, that's a great idea for a video. I should do so. I can just click, boom, bang, heart, and it's going to be there for me later, which is pretty cool. This is a question from Jonathan Blog 1. Does it give you an auto script as well? Phil, do you want to address that?
Yeah, that's a good question. And Daniel did talk about how once you heart an idea, you like an idea, kind of the next step in the process is take that idea and expand it out, come up with a title, thumbnail, outline, script. Currently in Creative Fuel, it does create an outline for you. I honestly feel like it's a pretty basic outline. You can't customize it much. It's really just the basics in there. Scripting is next. It's definitely on the roadmap for us to do. I think as AI gets better, scripting is getting better.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Like the ultimate idea is being able to kind of feed in your existing script so it knows your style of video and kind of taking that, like we can read in the transcripts from your other videos, the pacing, kind of how you break it up, and then kind of use that as a guideline when coming up with new ideas.
Well, I'm gonna jump in and out of order because sometimes my workflow isn't the same as everyone else's. Mm-hmm. So like if I happen to be like scrolling around on YouTube like I did and I saw a couple things and I may have hearted them. One thing you're going to notice is when you install this browser extension, a lot of you guys know this is YouTube Studio. All I did is I went into my YouTube Studio from my channel. If you look on the left and you scroll down, Creative Fuel just adds another tier at the bottom. And if you click on that, it'll bring you to some of these things that you may have hearted and you may have put aside. And that's where you can start doing some of the things that Phil talked about. And the question was like, well, okay, well, what can I do? Well, maybe it was create stunning graphics in DaVinci Resolve, 9 simple steps. Okay, well, let's maybe plan that as a video. I'm here and I said, I have the ability to, again, modify the title. I can click in here and maybe I don't like some of the wording. I want to refine it. Maybe I saw something that was close to what I was thinking, but I want to tweak it a bit. Maybe I don't want 9 simple steps or whatever the thing is, but you can modify that. And there is a auto-generate initial content. And I think that's what you were talking about, Phil, right? The ability to just get you started. And you just click plan video. And this is where the AI starts thinking about what you might want to do to take that video idea to another level. Now, what is it doing behind the scenes right now? Can you explain what I'm looking at in this panel, all of these different panels here, Phil?
Sure. So this is a video you want to actually create. And we kind of broke it down. Currently, again, things are going to change over time as we built it out. But you can see kind of the tabs up top: title, thumbnail, metadata, content, monetization, preview. So this is where you can kind of workshop different versions of your title. Again, thumbnail, you can work on your metadata. It'll auto generate some tags and a description for you.
So let's start real simple and walk them through. Yeah. So title right here, we're looking at the physical title. So we can this is just like if we were in like the details page of a video and saying, hey, you got to enter your title here before you publish your video. This is where you're actually going to build the title that it's going to save, that you can just click, put it in there, and it'll be ready for you to put on your video when you're done. Now there's a thumbnail tab that comes next. Now tell me what I'm looking at here.
All right. So here currently the way it works is it gives you kind of some of the top ranking thumbnails on YouTube currently for similar topics. So you can get some inspiration there. As far as, you talk a lot about the packaging of, title, thumbnail together. Up at the top, you can try different wording. So master graphics now, it comes up with an idea of, the text you might want that would work well with your title. You can type different things in there to try it out. And once you do have a thumbnail that you plan to use, you can upload it here. So you can kind of see it against other videos. And down at the bottom, if you scroll to the bottom, it actually gives you some text. It takes some reading, but it gives you some design concepts. If you just want to kind of think through it on your own without kind of visually looking at other thumbnails, it'll give you some ideas of how you could structure your thumbnail, what might work well with the title there.
All right, so to be clear, this is the text prompt, master graphics now. Now, let's say I went and I thought that was a cool thumbnail. That's is that going to, if I hover over that, it'll show me up in the left of what that might look like, give an idea, push me towards a prompt of what I could potentially do as inspiration?
Yeah, when you hover, it just kind of replaces up in the top left. So you can kind of see, does that work well with my title? Yeah. How does it go together if I were to do something along those lines?
Now, if I already have a thumbnail that you know me, I like to build my own thumbnails. You actually have a section right here that I can upload my own thumbnail and put it in here and then just have it ready and go, look, I got thumbnails down. I don't need inspiration. I think what I need is to understand how to build the topic and the title, and I'm pretty good at thumbnails. So if I don't need inspiration, I can just upload my own. It's here. And is this going to be ready for me when I come back with my video? If let's say I go and I make this video, is this going to be ready for me to just click a button and then just put it all in there?
Yeah, essentially the thumbnail part isn't fully implemented yet, but the rest of it is title, tags, description, where on the upload screen, you'll be able to just essentially, you'll see a list of your videos in Creative Fuel, say, this is the one I want, apply, you just click apply. So you're kind of pre-building your title, tags, description, thumbnail, getting it all set up so that when you go to upload, you just click a button and it applies it for you.
Okay, let's walk through this because we're sitting here. So we looked at the title, we looked at the thumbnail. Metadata, that's just the kind of stuff we always get, right? Like the description, the tags, things. Now, is this giving us potential tags that we might want to use and just click and add them in?
Yeah. So again, pretty basic. Fills out the tags for you. You can look through. It does look through your channel and find tags that you commonly use on videos and puts those in as well. A lot of people kind of have the same tags across, at least a small set of tags across the same video. So it applies those and then adds tags that are relevant to the video topic. And
right, and I think we've talked about it. I mean, tags are one of those things that they really don't matter much. It's good, and I always say, don't spend more than 30 seconds on tags, and this takes that right out of the equation. It's like, we'll find the tags for you. We'll throw them in there. You're ready to go. And if there are specific ones you want to add, you can add them here. Here's the more important part is the description, preloading descriptions in here that's ready to go based on, now is this pulling the preloaded description that I have from YouTube?
It's actually not. I'm making a note about that to look into. What it does is it looks at your previous uploads and kind of analyzes the structure of the descriptions that you use. And then it takes that structure and applies kind of that top paragraph about this particular video.
So all of this is built out like, This has like create stunning graphics in DaVinci Resolve, 9 simple steps. I didn't write that. Dive into the world of DaVinci Resolve and discover how you can transform your videos with incredible graphics in just 9 easy steps. So it's building the description out for me.
Correct. Yeah, just based on the title. And currently it's just based on the title. I think in the future we could add, certain options that you could tweak to build it out more, depending on, the length of it, or once you have the script. So right now, it's just building it off based off this title. We want to allow people to kind of paste in their script if they have it, so that so it knows exactly what you're going to be talking about and kind of build that description out based on the real content, not what it thinks you might put in the video.
So then the next tab we have here says content. So explain to me this, what I feel, this is more of like your bullet point scripting prompts. When someone had asked like, well, does it create a script? Yep. I think this is more of what they were asking. Like at the top, it says, well, here's your hook. Think about unlocking the secrets of DaVinci Resolve. That's just because I'm working off of this prompt, right? This idea. Transform your content with graphics that captivate and leave your audience wanting more. All in just 9 simple steps. So it starts saying this is what you might want to think about mentioning at the very beginning of the video to push a hook. Now, what am I looking at below here?
Yeah, down below, what it does is essentially builds a potential outline of a script. The question earlier was about a kind of a full-fledged script, I think, which we do want to get into. But for now, it kind of puts together a basic outline of something you could use. And it does look at the video lengths of your channel and kind of looks at the average video length and tries to build a script similar in similar length.
And it's showing us like time stamps next to it too. So it's actually building out like saying maybe spend this much amount of time talking about these things. And it's sort of giving you at least a loose wireframe if you have no idea where to start, pushes you towards, look at this is based on let's see, when we get to the bottom, I have to go to the bottom now, hold on. It's looking at what it's considering potentially a 13-minute video, right? That's your end. That's your end right there. I have to say thanks to, put that back up there, Megan. I have to say thanks to our good friend, Paul Peck. This tool looks amazing. Paul, yeah, man, I am digging this so much. Phil and the team have been working really hard on this, and we've only touched the surface. Wait till you see what else this tool can do. It's going to blow your mind. Thank you for the membership and the membership chat, pal. I appreciate it. So this, all right. So this gives us an idea and gives us a structure.
Edit this too, just so you know. If you want to use this, ultimately, I think it'd be great if we could kind of turn this into something where people kind of manage the whole pipeline of their videos, from brainstorm to ideation to filming, kind of the whole process. And here, you could edit this and actually use this as your outline.
Now, can I export this or copy and send or do something like if I don't want to keep opening up YouTube, like if maybe I like using notes on my iPhone or something? How do I do that?
Not yet. There is a copy button here.
This one right. So I'm looking at it right here. So I can copy right here, and then I can paste that if I happen to be like on my PC. I could send it to myself on Messenger or in an email or something.
Right. And ideally, over time, we could integrate with other products or make sure there's a mobile version and things like that to have it available in different areas.
Nice. All right. This is the tab that I think is a real mind blower too. Monetization. That's the very next tab after the content section, because one of the things that I always try to work with creators on is like, well, we're all trying to, make enough money to keep doing this. I know so many creators who have a day job and they come home at night and they edit at night and they have to pay for all their gear with the day job. How to work with brands and sponsors. You've got a monetization tab that immediately starts suggesting potential sponsorships or affiliates, not only that might make sense for this video, but that immediately has links to their own affiliate program sign up. So right here, you're going, hey, this might be a good match. Instead of trying to find who you might want to work with or figure out a way to monetize this, let me point you in the right direction. There's our pals TubeBuddy. Those guys right there, those troublemakers. So talk to me about how this is being developed. Talk to me about what this is Is this something that we're going to see expand over time? Is this something that allows people to directly get right into the affiliate programs of all of these different companies that might be a good match for trying to monetize?
Yeah, so absolutely. And again, kind of like everything, I hate using the word beta, but we're very early on in the product, and just kind of putting things out there, seeing what type of response we get, and kind of building in different directions from there. So yeah, with this, it essentially looks at, the video topic and what potential brands you can work with. Affiliate programs, like you said, it links out to the sign up pages. I think eventually we would want to actually kind of keep a list of those in the database, have the affiliate cuts that you get, maybe a rating system, things like that maybe a more advanced affiliate program tracking software would have. So we can give you a lot of details about which programs people like, how much they pay, what their terms are. And then, if you read these little descriptions within each one, it just kind of brainstorm how you could actually integrate that product into this particular video, just to at least get you thinking. And yeah, down below with brands, I was trying to think like, okay, well, how can we get them in touch with people at these companies? So it kind of currently just links out to a LinkedIn search for this particular company for brand partnerships. But I think we can integrate with LinkedIn's API eventually to kind of build out this list and actually find the people that you can connect with to build these partnerships.
This is really smart. In the chat, you just saw on screen, my good pal, Liran Segev. He's the very first one when you're trying to authenticate a company and who works for them. He's one of the first people to tell you, hey man, go over to LinkedIn. I mean, those companies all have representatives that are partnership representatives on LinkedIn. And this is a one-click thing. Like, you're thinking about building out a topic idea, and it's like, hey, here's some companies that might be a good match. Here's how you can find them on LinkedIn, which is a business-related social media site that's a little easier to authenticate whether these people are actually real partners and the real people you want to talk with, instead of trying to find their website and their contact us, but their contact us is more product support, and you're trying to find people that might work for the company that you could reach out to and say, I'm a content creator and I'm making a video and I think you might be a great fit for this. I love all of this. It's thinking that one step ahead, where we're doing all the planning, where while you're in the planning stages of a video, you can start thinking about how you can actually start monetizing that video beyond just AdSense alone.
Yeah. And let me ask you, Daniel.
Yes.
So we have brands and affiliates here. What are some other things that you think about as far as monetization? Like, of course there's merch, things like that. I don't know how that would necessarily fall into here. And, memberships, things like that. Is there anything, just talking through this product, that you think about for a particular video outside of brands and affiliates?
There'd probably be things like, if I am, the membership thing is something that I sort of keep in all of my videos. But if there are, like, someone like our pal Liran, who has a securities course for people who want to make sure that they keep their YouTube channels secure and don't get, we've seen so many of them get hacked and hijacked and overtaken. If there's a course or something that I have, I think there are some spots where that fits really well, or maybe not with others. So the ability to say, if I have specific offerings, I would love to see a section in here, and maybe the chat can give some input too, like a section where I can say, well, I have specific offerings, and it could maybe just list all my offerings, and I could decide which ones I want to integrate with one click. And maybe I could pre-build those and go, oh, cool, I want to add this, boom, and it's already pre-built out with all the links, all the wordage, all the way I want it to look, and add that in somehow, maybe into the description, probably the obvious place for it. Would be something I'd probably want to see as it moves forward. But maybe the chat has some other ideas.
It could be, just kind of thinking through how we give these examples of how you might integrate Skillshare into this video. If you have your pre-built out products that you integrate with, it could give you ideas based on the video topic, how you might want to integrate them.
Nice.
Yeah, and have checks in the description, auto add, things like that.
Okay, so we're still in this one narrow field here. The last tab after monetization is preview. So what is this doing for me right now?
So this right now is kind of showing you, especially, it works better once you have your own thumbnail uploaded, but it's essentially showing you within these search results, if you do a search on YouTube for create stunning graphics in DaVinci Resolve, kind of how your video stacks up against others. And you know, something like this, I feel like a lot of other products have, and you can see it on mobile, search results, different areas. Currently for us, we just have this basic preview, but I think we want to build this out, and so you can see it kind of how it's going to look in different areas on YouTube and things like that.
So that was nice and easy, right? I took the thumbnail from today's live stream. I just uploaded it as if it was the thumbnail I was going to use, uploaded quickly, and now I can see what it might look like when surrounded by other videos. Is this more based on search? Is that what we're looking at here? Really similar topics?
Yeah. Yeah, basically similar topics. If you scroll down, I guess on the thumbnail tab, you can search up at the top. If you go to thumbnail and scroll down a little bit, keep going below all. See done. More inspiration. Click that.
Okay,
right
see more inspiration. Yep.
So here you can put any search term on YouTube if you want to see how it kind of stacks up against other videos.
So I'm going to go with DaVinci Resolve because that's a space I live in. Why not, right? So now I can see this guy. He's everywhere.
Look at that guy.
Look
at that rock star.
Man, he's everywhere. The guy with the hair.
Wow.
So I can actually pick stuff based on what I think the sort of, if I am leaning on search and I'm trying to find similar content, I can start going, that's a really great thumbnail. That's a really great thumbnail. Let me see how mine would stack up. And I can can I just click them and add them, or do I heart them?
Yeah, you heart them, and then they kind of show up at the top with your list.
Okay.
If you scroll up,
and I see now they've been added in here.
Yeah, kind of the ones you like. It defaults to adding 8 or something.
Yeah. And then when I go back to preview, is it going to give me those again? Or there they are right there. So I can start to see them in the preview, how I might stack up against those?
No, those actually just stay on the thumbnail tab. That's just kind of your inspiration to look through. This preview kind of always just does search results. Currently. And
then on the thumbnail tab, I can just kind of see other inspiration ones that I can take a look at mine and go, well, let's see what I'm up against.
When you're using Photoshop or whatever, TubeSpanner has a great a builder. Whatever you're using to build your thumbnail, you can kind of look at these on the side potentially as inspiration. Can I just say real quick?
Yes.
I can't believe nothing is broken so far. You know,
well, give it a minute.
Product demos, everything breaks.
and I am the crash test dummy. If anything can break and it could be broken, I'm the guy to break it. So
yeah.
Tony Riley asked, if you find a thumbnail, can you edit before you publish? So let me make it clear. These are just inspirations. Of course, we're not telling you to steal someone's thumbnail. No. So you're not going to just grab someone's thumbnail and go, I'll just use that. It's just giving you inspiration. You can't actually upload their thumbnail. You're not stealing their thumbnail. But what it does is it gives you an idea when you want to go build your own. Like I think about this stuff all the time when I'm looking at like the thumbnail I decided right here that I built for this live stream. Like, how do I want to do it? How do I want to lay it out? I start thinking about what it might want to look like. And if I have no idea, I want to be able to look at other stuff that makes sense and go, oh, well, there's a great idea right there. Like, what if I kind of grabbed a product and pushed it forward and kept it in an angle and maybe used the DaVinci Resolve logo? You know, like this, I'm looking at, this is all inspiration for thumbnails, not steal someone's thumbnail. Though, you know what they say, amateurs borrow, pros steal.
There you go.
That's my story.
And you can't actually build any thumbnails in here.
It's not a thumbnail builder.
Maybe someday, but it's not on our immediate plans.
Right. This is really just trying to really get you to the process of, you know, you're sitting at home and you're trying to figure out what to do, like how to come up with a topic, a title, a thumbnail, a bit of a script, bullet points. This is getting you there quick. How am I going to monetize that video? This is making all that stuff happen quickly.
Yeah.
Right. Well, look at right there. Speaking of great products, TubeSpanner in the house. This tool is fantastic, amazing work. Thank you, Danielle, for that super chat. Another great product that I've been working with, and I was using their one of their features right here, this amazing magnifying glass, and right on screen makes life super simple. We'll be talking about that product too. I love where this is, and I love that it's right inside of Chrome. So what we just did, we've just scratched the surface. There is this sort of like if you're browsing around YouTube, right? We started with that. I'm a workflow guy. Like, tell me how it impacts my life. If I'm on YouTube, like I want to see I want to just be looking and I might just be browsing. I want to see that ability to do things. I want to be able to click on a video and go, oh, you know, add this. You can even add the entire channel as inspiration. If you see something from somebody and you go, never mind this video, I think this entire channel might have something that I would like to come back to it as an inspiration channel. I can go to the bottom and click add channel to inspiration. And if it's Drumeo, it will now be there later on for inspiration channels. So it helps forge that sort of conversation that's happening inside of Creative Fuel. Am I close or not close?
Yeah, no, you're good. Yeah, there's certain features that you can look to the channels you've added as an inspiration, more within the website area than the Chrome extension area. But yeah, if you want to reimagine, you can kind of go in and look at the top performing videos. And again, with the reimagine, it's generally outside of your niche a lot of the time. So it's something completely outside of what you do as a creator. But you can kind of take their video formats and apply them to your channel.
Right. And it doesn't just have to be taking inspiration from someone else, because down at the bottom here, as you can see, there's got different idea engines. They've got reimagining, which is choosing a video from someone else that you go like, let me reimagine that, or even reimagine stuff that's based on your own channel. You can look at viral templates where you can actually go, these are things that have done really well, and let's use them to sort of give you ideas of how to create a more what we've seen as sort of proven strategies that work. And you can totally freestyle. You can start from nothing and go, let me just generate, you know, on the fly. I don't want to start from a specific video. I want to freestyle this using Creative Fuel and see if I can build from the ground up. Talk to me about why you built these different sections. And this last one, audience insights. I have to take a second. This is my favorite one. Uncover ideas from questions and requests in the comments. Now, I know this is something that we're still refining and we're still trying to get out there, but no matter where you are, when you see a video, maybe this is like a competitor to your channel and you go like, well, this is let me go, I don't like to think of anybody as competition. We're all in this game together. There's room for all of us. But like Casey Ferris is a guy who I love. I watch his content. He talks a lot about DaVinci Resolve. If I go to his like a popular video, look at him, millions of views on these. If I'm looking at something by Casey and I want to draw inspiration, of course, now I'm not seeing our Creative Fuel logo underneath.
I think if you go to the watch page, it should show up.
Oh, I got it. Okay, so I have to go popular.
Not showing up on the channel page.
Yeah, we want it here too. But let me go like, okay, something that's a little sooner, 2 years ago. If I go to the watch page, okay, this is his video that has 928 comments. It's got 1 million views. I can click on Creative Fuel and go, hey, I bet you a lot of people ask questions that maybe weren't covered in this video. And I can say, generate a content idea from the comments of someone else's video who's talking about a similar topic. Look at Phil sweating right now. He's like, what's going to happen? Now, it takes a second. It's filtering through all these comments, and it's trying to figure out similarities, patterns, and trying to develop potential videos that you can make that maybe aren't this video, but things that the audience of this video also wanted to know about, right? So this particular video was, this is back to DaVinci Resolve 18, a crash course, right? A DaVinci Resolve 18 walkthrough for beginners, right?
Yep.
What it came up with, which is pretty darn cool, is Resolve tips for former Premiere users. Really smart. Resolve, I blew it, man. I shut it down.
Can you open the tab right now?
Oh, is the tab? Will it come right back out? Did I just close? Oh, I closed the tab. See, I'm learning. I'm learning as we go. That's why I'm trying to do two things at once, and it won't let me. Don't use two tools. Don't use two conflicting tools at once, is what they're telling us. We're going to have to work that out. DaVinci Resolve nodes. Anybody knows Resolve all the nodes for beginners. Advanced fusion techniques simplified. But I love this that you can kind of go look at. It's Resolve tips for former Premiere users. And when you look, if you hover over comments, it starts showing you some of the comments and how it got to there. where this top comment was like, I used to use Final Cut, then on my new Mac it doesn't operate, but now I Resolve looks way better. Talking about using different types of software. So it says, hey, maybe you want to look at the actual competition to the software, which really is Premiere Pro, and start giving tips for people who were formerly using another software. So it's generating ideas based on what the input of the community is. And what's really cool is you can do this on your own videos too. So you can go to a video on your channel that's been doing really well. Here, I'm going to throw you under the bus. We're going to go for it, Phil. He's like, look at me sweating. I'm going to go to my channel, all right? And I've done a bunch of videos on DaVinci Resolve for noobs, but the OG video that started that out, that has 511,000 views from a year or so ago, here it is. It's got 3,029 comments, right? Down the bottom. I'm sitting here looking at my own video and I go, man, I don't have time to read through 3,029 comments. I would love to have some ideas. This thing continues to drive views. Can I click on Creative Fuel and generate some new ideas just from the discussions and maybe some commonalities of what people have been saying to me that I may have been responding to comments one by one, but I haven't made the link, you know, like unless I'm sitting there and taking notes. I do this. I actually respond to comments and I screen capture and go, that's a good comment. And I have to go through later on, look at my photos and go, that's a good one. That's a good one. But this sort of does it for me and says, hey, listen, these are some of the other things that people are paying attention to. Right? Right here, troubleshooting audio syncs in DaVinci Resolve. There are comments in here where people are saying, hey, listen, I had problem with my audio syncing. I watched your video, but I don't know that that answer was solved. Could you potentially, and it'll show some comments of where it's pulling that from. People are asking, even though this is DaVinci Resolve for complete noobs, it's, you know, advanced color grading tips in DaVinci Resolve. So it's saying, hey, listen, a lot of people were saying, you know, talking about, man, could you maybe talk about some of the color grading issues that are going on? And it starts pulling from your own comments. So you can not only just pull inspiration from other videos and see what other people might be missing from their comment section, but you can actually start going right into your own comment section and going, oh, man, this makes my life easy. I can just pull up a video that's doing well, see what people seem to be asking, and let Creative Fuel give me some direction on where to go. I mean, that's a pretty awesome idea.
You're a good salesman, Daniel. I can't talk about my own product, but
and I love that it actually gives you a little bit of a ranking score up here, you know, and thinking about not only the niche, but the emotion and what the reach might be. And I know scores are arbitrary, but when it starts like allowing you to understand what might be a better choice than others and giving you some, at least some ideas of if you want to go deeper down the rabbit hole and a little more off the beaten path, or something that's a little more centric to what might be discussed, because you may have already made a video about some of these things it's recommending, and Creative Fuel is just giving you topics that might work from what the people are asking in the questions section. So down in the comments section, leveraging that, I think is awesome. Listen, I have to take a second to acknowledge our friend Stanley Orchard, who's in the chat. Now, I know you don't like me talking about Stanley. I love Stanley. Stanley is a pal of ours.
I love Stanley.
And Stanley was able to take this tool. He's been one of the people that had access to it earlier on. And Stanley told me straight out, because I saw him at Vid Summit, and I heard the story straight from Stanley. He's got a channel. He does a lot of fishing stuff. It's sort of outdoors. And he got access to the tool. Now, Stanley does okay, you know, like he's another small channel trying to get out there. And if you look at where Stanley's at any given time, you know, he'll put out videos that drive 400, 500 views, sometimes 1,000 views. This is exactly where a lot of small channels are, where they're driving some views and they're trying to find a path to understanding what might connect with people better. Stanley told me straight out. He said, I had a bunch of footage and I had to put aside, and I didn't know what to do with it. I didn't have an idea, and Phil let me use Creative Fuel, and I let Creative Fuel guide what the video was going to be. 5,100 views on this video because Creative Fuel gave him direction. First time he'd ever used it. He said, I'm just going to go for it. 5,100 views. Now, Stanley's right in there doing the thing, right? Building a catalog out. But to have a video that is, like in the last 3 months, 1,000 views, that's great. 1,000 views is a lot of views for channels that are trying to connect with people. But then to use Creative Fuel first try and hit 5,100 views, I mean, I don't want to say that the results speak for themselves, but results do speak for themselves. And I think that Stanley is an amazing example of someone who took a shot with the tool, let me see what it can do, and paid attention to it, worked through the process, and immediately got results on his very first try. So Stanley, I don't mean to be calling you out like that, but we did talk, and I loved your story. And I gotta point this out too. You're not playing. I'm here on the website where you can install it right now, right? And here's one of the things, right? ChatGPT costs me $20 a month just to have ChatGPT Pro. The price of getting into the Blaze, which will probably accommodate most people, most creators, right, is $19 a month. But the annual pricing right now, you've got this thing down because of the launch special. You can get this for under $7 a month, $6.58 a month. You can sign up. You can use it up to 3 YouTube channels, unlimited ideas per day, unlimited inspiration channels, unlimited engine ideas, unlimited video workshopping. The difference being here is if you're someone who likes to use like the data export, that's something you'd want to step up to the Inferno level, because if you're taking a lot of that data and want to be able to instantly export that and use it, if you're working with teams especially, and if you have more channels, more than 3, if you had 10, makes a lot of sense that you may want to step up and get, the Inferno level. But this is the kind of thing, $6.58 a month. Count me in. Like, this is, I love the price point that you went here, that you've made it affordable for people, and they can sign up. Everyone here in the chat, you can sign up right now and use it for a week, absolutely for free. Now, it doesn't ask for a credit card, right? There's none of that. Give me your credit card.
No.
I love it.
Log in.
I love it.
Free access.
Log in. Attach your channel. How long does it take? Let me ask that question. How long does it take after you log in and do this? Because it's got to data scrape your channel a bit to start understanding not only what's going on YouTube, but like similar channels and things. How long does it take to do its thing before it's like really effective and ready to go and has all the data from your channel?
Yeah, it should be 30 seconds maybe, if that. So it's quick. And I guess one other thing to note is it actually works off all public data. We don't ask for, access to your channel to modify your videos, any of that. So a lot of people actually use it for competitor channels. You should add your own, but you can also add competitors and kind of work with them in the system and look at their data, what they're doing, or channels that inspire you, inspiration, competitors. So it doesn't have to be only your channel that you add.
So not only can you have channels that you can add for inspiration in specific to pull stuff, but you can literally add a channel and it'll do a full channel scrape in that sense, and really do a deeper dive into that channel and go, hey, if this is the one that you're drawing inspiration from, let's really get to know them. Let's cozy up to them.
Yeah, it'll build out a whole profile so you can kind of learn more about their audience, what their value prop is kind of compared to yours and things like that.
Okay. Now listen,
fun research.
Tough guy. I'm a huge fan of people who put their money where their mouth is, but you're telling people, listen, on YouTube, when you publish a video, it ranks it of your most recent top 10s. You're coming out and saying, listen, if you don't get a 1 out of 10 on your channel within the first 30 days, we'll give you your money back. That is a bold statement, my friend. That is someone who believes in the product. Now, Stanley Orchard would go, I'm not getting my money back, right? Because he did very well with the first time he used it. But talk to me about this. Look, what makes you want to make an offer? Like, people don't make offers like this. This is a crazy offer. What makes you want to do those kind of things?
Yeah, it comes back to, back in the TubeBuddy days, we, just like this product, refunds for any reason. We're not about just squeezing money out of customers. We really want to provide value. And if the product isn't providing value, we don't want your money, is essentially my mindset. As we build things out, we aren't trying to trick people. We're just, really trying to help people. And if it's not helping, then we don't want you to pay for it. And I tell people that all the time. and hopefully it leads to a better product, because if we're seeing these refunds and people aren't getting those 1 of 10s, we can maybe work directly with some of those people to kind of figure out why and build a better product. So we see it as a win-win. Kind of the better you treat people, the better product you end up with. And if you're losing a few dollars early on by being a good company, I feel like it builds goodwill. We built a lot of that at TubeBuddy, and so kind of want to go down the same path here.
You know what I also love about you, Phil, is like you're very active on places like Twitter, where you're always there. And like if people have questions or they're working with something or they have an issue, like you always seem to be right there in the community talking to people and building a community and building a sense of a company that really cares about the people who might be using the product.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of times that's really underrated, that people don't realize. Listen, I've worked with companies recently that were bought out by other companies, and I won't mention their names, that maybe don't care about the people so much and maybe aren't afraid to double the prices of the product out of the blue and throw, people under the bus, or maybe take lifetime licenses and all of a sudden they're not honored anymore. I've just seen it. And one of the things the reason that I've been here and I've been trying to help get this product going is just that. Like, I always know that your heart's in the right place. I know you care about creators, and I know that you take responsibility. You've never claimed to be perfect, but what you do is, it's not about blame, it's about responsibility. If like something isn't doing what they need, or if someone has an idea and want to integrate it, you always seem to be there listening to the people, the end user, and the people who are using your product, and making yourself available to them. Like, where did that come from? Like, what is that? Is that like your dad taught you that?
I don't know. It's like maybe some kind of pride thing, or maybe part of the reason why I don't like being on camera or pushing my own products is because of some of this fear that it's not going to do well, or not going to help people how I hope it will. But I think it's just wanting, I don't know, raised to be a good person, and I just want to be helpful, and kind of always felt that way. And
and listen,
translates into the products I build, I guess.
There was and I'm not going to try to throw anyone under the bus, but there was a physical difference in the feeling and the vibe of TubeBuddy when you, your brother, and the team were building that product, and after what we thought was, the greatest software developing team in the world took it over, and suddenly it wasn't that sense of family, that sense of community. The one thing I do love about you, and why I love when I see you building products, especially ones that help creators, because I think you do such a good job of it, is that you really build a sense of community, and people belong to that community. When they have ideas, suggestions, problems, you always seem to be right in the middle of that, and accessible. And that's such an unheard of thing nowadays, to actually have people who are building the product who are right there talking to the very people who are using it. Like, I love that about YouTube. Like, we got Neil Mohan and Todd Beaupre are out there every day talking to the people using the product. We have people on the inside talking. You do that. I think you were doing that before a lot of them were doing that. You sort of set that standard.
Yeah, I think, I guess as a YouTube product, as somebody that's not a creator, even though I keep talking about starting a channel, as somebody that's not a creator, it's, imperative that I'm talking with people, learning their frustrations, their workflows. So, building a product for something that I'm not doing myself would be impossible without kind of building these relationships and talking through ideas and listening, and finding people like you that are good at amazing ideas and also breaking things. So
no one breaks stuff like I do. That I am the king of taking stuff and going, listen, give it to me. It's like, it's perfect. Give it to me for a day. I'll be out here telling you exactly why what's broken, and using it in some way that you never saw coming. So listen, I want to make sure that I've given people enough of an idea of how that works. It's going to be out here. Now I'm sitting here on Browse, right? I'm in Browse, And we've seen that when I'm on browse, which is the homepage of YouTube, you're going to see all those little icons next to a video. If I happen to click on a video, you're going to see that icon here on the watch page underneath, where I can do things like, you know, all the same functionality. I can reimagine this idea, but from my conversation. I could generate ideas from the comments of this video, or I could just add this channel overall, put that aside. Like, this channel's great, and I can put it into my user bank, my memory bank of creative fuel to come back to for later. Now, does it also do that in play? Where else can I see it? What if I was using search? If I do search for Stanley Orchard, do we have it here? Yes, we do. Right? So if I use search terms, I'm looking, poor Stanley's like, yeah, I hear you, Daniel. Stop throwing me, you know, right under the bus here. Let me do like DaVinci Resolve. That's a common one for me, right? So if I go DaVinci Resolve, then I start scrolling down and I start seeing videos that actually serve a similar conversation. There's a lot of me here. Boy, I sure do own this conversation. Nice. But ones by like Gianni Ness, I can sit here over on the right and I can, by search term, then click on that and get in here and start generating stuff from his comments. Maybe there's things he missed in this video. I can add his channel. I can reimagine exactly what he did, even if it wasn't the same conversation I'm in, and it'll start applying those things. So that's sort of the real-time floating through YouTube, which I love that it takes. Man, I spend a lot of time on YouTube just kind of looking through, watching stuff, seeing stuff. I love that it's like my creator notepad, taking notes and getting like, that's a great idea, and not making me do things like I usually do, screenshots, send it to myself, email, message, and then trying to remember what it was I thought about that. It's just collecting them all onto one Creative Fuel database that I can access either from the website or from right inside of YouTube Studio. When I scroll down, there's that Creative Fuel that'll open up right inside. Or I also have the pop-out window on Chrome that has a lot of these things that are prompting me down that path of, come on, let's make some content. What do you want to do? Let's figure this out.
Right. And there's actually one other area that you can find Creative Fuel, and it's not really built out extensively, but I think we could, and that's on the inspiration tab.
Oh, cool.
You know, YouTube's coming out with a lot of new things around the inspiration tab and analytics, and kind of what I've always done and enjoy doing is, once it loads here, hopefully it'll show up.
There we go. All right. So all the inspiration stuff that YouTube's already giving us, we can then click there and use that. So we're using that extra layer of YouTube saying we think this is stuff that other people are watching that also watch your channel that might be relevant.
Yeah. And for topics, like something that's not in there quite yet, like you look at, you know, how to color grade in the bottom left there as a topic, kind of using that as a topic, but then what angle do you want to take on that? Kind of giving you different ideas on how you could structure or kind of make your video compelling.
So we got, I'm going to follow. Let's go. Let's put the car on the racetrack, Phil. So it says how to color grade. I click on the Creative Fuel logo and I'm going to go with, it says generate more ideas, instant and advanced. Which one should I click?
Probably none right now. You could go instant and see what happens. I feel like I haven't been in this area in a while.
Phil's like, here, let me tell you about one other thing it can do. And I'm like, really?
This is one area we want to kind of build it out. But let's see.
But look, it's already doing all the things that you said it was going to do. So it started with color grading, but then it starts immediately giving us master color grading in DaVinci Resolve for stunning videos. Right? All that compelling stuff that will get people to click. Color grading mistakes that ruin your videos. I would make that video tomorrow. I'm like, that's a great idea. That's a great one. Revolutionary color grading techniques that you need to know. Right? The unseen magic behind expert color grading, and color grade like a pro in just 5 minutes. Now, I might like that and go, you know what, that's a good idea. But what I would like to do is I'd like to add in, I could edit that and go, in just 5 minutes, I might want to go with DaVinci Resolve because I want that term in there just for relevance. And I can just add that in there, and now I've changed that. I love it. I just added my own little bit into it, hit the heart, and that's going to be there for me later on.
Yeah.
This is awesome. There you go. This is awesome. Listen, Phil. I got to tell you, I think you got a winner here.
We'll see.
We shall see.
So.
Is there
We'll
anything
keep building it if it's not. Well, we'll keep improving and making sure it is a winner.
Is there anything that you can talk to the chat here and people who might be watching in the replay in terms of where they can reach you, where they can learn? Well, first of all, we have the link. It's creativefuel.ai. That's the website, right? That's where you can go right now. I've got it linked in the chat, but I've got it linked in the description. And I will put it linked in the pinned comment so you can go find it and check this out yourself. Go try it out for a week. Give it a whirl. See if it's something that'll actually help your workflow. I think it will. But is there anything like the people out there who actually want to talk to you about it or have questions about things it can do or where it might go or have ideas about what they'd like to see the tool do over time? What's the best way for people like that to reach you or reach out to you and have communications with you?
Yeah, I think Twitter, X is always good. Just look up Phil Starkovich. Really available anywhere. LinkedIn, personal email, phil.starkovich@gmail.com. Yes, I'm putting out my personal email.
Look at you, you crazy.
That's what I enjoy. I enjoy chatting with people, getting ideas. Not ready to put out my cell phone number. Maybe next
not quite yet.
Call.
Don't worry. I'll give it after we're done. I'll pin it in the comments.
There you go.
I'm going to put Phil's handle on Twitter into the chat because he really is responsive there and he's there a lot and talks a lot and you can always ask any kind of questions about what's going on there. And that's where we talk a lot too, is on Twitter. It's nice and easy. So any Twitter users, it's there. You can go find them. What was your email? Did you say?
Phil.Starkovich, if you can spell it.
Yeah, I think I can. I'm going to try it. I'm going to go for it. Phil.Starkovich at
gmail.com.
Right, I'm going to put it right in there. Hope I got it right. There's his email address into the chat. Definitely reach out to Phil. Try this tool, people. I really think, and yes, I have been there helping him develop this tool, and I'd like to take credit for it, but I really I'm this much of the piece of the equation. I'm in there sort of just putting it on the track, beating it up, coming up with ideas. Can we make it do this? Can we make it do that? But it's really been all of the guys who built TubeBuddy. It's been Phil, your brother Jim, and our pal Eric, who was the other developer who really, it's the founding members of TubeBuddy back when TubeBuddy was cool. And to see you back out there building some more cool stuff is just awesome, because I know that nobody will do this better than you and your tight team of guys who brought us products in the past that helped so many creators and built such a great community around those tools. So listen, is there anything in here that I missed that I should have talked about that my loud New England mouth missed?
you covered everything and more. Again, I can't believe nothing broke. You're not doing your job because you didn't break it.
I know. I'll try harder next time.
But yeah, I appreciate it. I'm a huge Battalion fan. Love all the members. Thank you to everyone that joined. And again, you know where to reach me if you have questions and, more importantly, feature requests, bugs, problems. Just want to say hi. I'm available.
Yeah. And I encourage everybody, go test this out. Don't have to put a credit card. You don't got to do anything. Just go sign up, download it, 7 days, free week of trying all the features out. And you can get in there with no commitment and just start playing with it and see if it does the kind of thing that will help you on your workflow. Because I think it will. I think it bridges the gap of complex AI and what creators are trying to do to figure out how to make that next great piece of content, but does it in a way that cuts out all of that learning curve in between and just puts it in your lap. Really, really smart building. Phil, thank you very much for being here today. Everyone in the chat, thank you for hanging out with us. Everyone who watches in the replay, again, I'm going to put links down. They're going to be in the description. I'll put it in the pinned comment too, where you can go to creativefuel.ai, and you can start testing out this tool yourself and hopefully start making the kind of content that connects with people in a way that you wanted to. All right, great. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Phil. And we will talk to all of you guys soon.